Another week, another Attack on Titan episode. I nearly said another chapter, but I stopped myself. We're here with chat on YouTube, probably later, to talk about another episode. We just said that. But anyway, last week our video did alright. We got like 4 comments.
Either way.
That's big for the second channel. But honestly, another week, another pretty good episode. Chat seems to be a little bit more negative than they were last week, talking shit about recaps and slow pacing. I'm a big fan of slow pacing and apparently recaps since I've been defending them for the last 20 minutes in chat. That's secret chat, that's secret stream footage. YouTube will never see it. But as always, we're going to scroll through things. I feel like we had a lot to talk about at the beginning. That's right, we went through the EDs and OPs last week. I like them both more now, I think. They're growing on me. They always do. Did anybody end up checking on if Titanfolk was mad about the bonus page imagery in the ED, and that they're probably not going to change things for an anime exclusive ending? Did anybody check in on old Titanfolk there? Elite Ali saying hello to YouTube. Nobody else is. Rude. How many viewers we got? We're on 9. We're not hitting the peaks we were last week. How do you scroll to the bottom? Since there's no end key on this laptop. Shake my head. Because we've got some little bits from the end of this week. I feel like we probably saved ourselves from getting fucking DMCA'd last time because we talked about the OP and ED without playing the music first. If we just go straight into scrolling through the chapters, we could be in trouble. But we're going to do it anyway. The only thing that was in this episode the only thing that was in this episode from this chapter was this end bit where Eren turns the tables and starts beating up Reiner and Porco. Because last week they wanted to end on, again, we talked about this last time, they wanted to end on a big dramatic note of it looks like Eren is losing. Because he dominated most of the episode, and then at the end, things turned around. And the same with this episode. At the beginning, Zeke shows up, but by the end, it looks like maybe Marley's doing all right. But then it's very tide turning, right? Where we don't know who to trust, who to believe in, who to love, and it's going back and forth. But then Zeke shows up. Now, did this happen before the intro? Was this the last thing we saw before the intro, or did it happen right after the intro? Remind me, chat. We didn't get this cool half and half shot. But leave it to your big brother is cute. Zeke is very idealistic about their relationship. Doesn't realize he's being manipulated. Lamau. Titanfolk is full of incel losers, so of course they'll be mad. Mr. R has chosen violence here. Man, you can see how hard the AOE believers are coping. Eren's hardening really does look infinitely better in the manga. Probably. Most things probably look infinitely better in the manga. This shot does too, but they did alright in the anime. They were mad about their air balloon explosion animation. Didn't that look good? Right? Zeke monkey look was on point. There were more noticeable bad CGI moments. I think Eren slowly stumbling down the road is looked a little bad. Porco generally looks kind of bad. Reiner's generally looked pretty good. I feel like every Zeke shot looked pretty good. Pieck looks pretty good. I know, it was okay. Zeke appeared before the opening. To be honest, it did look pretty bad, jarring at least. The explosion stuff, I didn't notice it at all. Turith is here. The fact they didn't draw Eren's death glare was cry face. Which death glare? Oh my god, I missed it. I am the worst man ever. See, but we only just started the YouTube recording session. You didn't miss much. We're just getting into it. Yelena, tearing up was cute. I like it. I like how into it she is. I didn't remember him throwing shit at Pieck. I thought that might have been an addition, but every time I think it's an addition, it's not. How spooky. I'm very scared of heights, especially big buildings and things like that. Magarth, sitting in this chair, hanging off the back with no ODM gear on, kind of spooky. They don't really have a shot of that here. They did have more of that in the anime. Do you think Flock's joke is he's part of the flock? He's the fodder character that survived? I don't know. I was thinking about this when they were flying around the side. I'm like, Flock. like a bird. Get it? And there's other bird stuff we can get into later. Why is Flock called Flock? I guess that's probably the reason, huh? Yeah, they did censor Porco's face a little bit, huh? I wonder if he gets more beat up next episode, right? Where his actual face is like half punched off. I wonder if they'll show that entirely. We're heading there. Gabby's like, haha, we're gonna... I feel like the Nile stuff was a little... Oh, this is actually structured so much better. Where they have their initial conversation, and then we cut to this scene that was in last episode. I like this in the manga, because in the episode it did feel kind of sudden that, like, Nile was talking to Falco, and then, like, immediately they were splitting up, and it was like, oh, we saw them talk for, like, 30 seconds, and then they left. And then it was like, oh, they really didn't have that much of a connection. It's not like a massive connection they have in the manga, but it's, like, implied here that it cuts away, and maybe they hang out for a little bit longer and talked about, and got to know each other a little bit more. And wanted to help each other. And that can happen as we cut away here. Still didn't get any of these shots. Or this shot. Oh! This is another thing. This seems to be implemented differently in the manga. In the anime. Well, I guess in the manga. Where Armin says here can't be. I always thought it was like a can't be that Eren would actually do the rumbling. I think Armin kind of knows here, but he's like, nah, Eren's not going to do it. And obviously that's a big tell that Eren actually was going to do it. This was like the main thing in my Jaeger Master Plan video I said for why Eren was actually going to do euthanasia. Because I misinterpreted this and didn't think the rumbling on a massive scale was even a possibility. This is basically the tell that Eren is going to be the bad guy and doesn't have like an immediate secret plan to help everybody. Obviously that eventuated, but in the interstice, in the immediate future, it's not going to happen. But in the anime they did this slightly differently, but now I've forgotten, and it gave me a different impression. But now I've completely forgotten. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Did anybody sense this as well? Or you're just going to call me a weirdo who was looking at shit that wasn't there or something? I wish they had adopted the Reiner just sleep line and Eren looking up menacingly. It was okay, but it didn't have the same impact. This is true. There was something that did feel off in that moment as well. I'm trying to remember how the episode did it exactly, but I'm having trouble with this moment and with that moment. There was like there was something that seemed more selfish than I think Reiner does in that scene in the manga where he was like, stop fighting. I think he says like, we've won or something to that effect. Something more in line with that. Whereas in the manga, it's like Eren just like give up. Give in to your suicidal urges like I want to. But yeah, just sleep really hits on that of like, just stop. Not like, punch you, we won, stop, you've lost. I think that's what he says. I think he says you've lost, not we've won. And it seems like weird. Like, I don't know if Reiner's trying to rub in that he like is inflicting a loss on this man. Anyone else notice the edges of the CGI model sometimes look pixelated and doesn't blend in with the environment, or is there something up on my screen? I think I know what you're talking about, and I also don't know if it's like just on like a small screen or something, or if it looks bad. I have no idea. I usually just think my screen is fucking up or something, but did they do the scene in this episode? They did not. I was there's no way it's like the halfway point. We're going real slow. I had my events jumbled up. I'm like, they're obviously going to do the Falco stuff, but the shot happens after Falco eats. Yeah, it has to. It has to happen after Falco eats Porco. So yeah, we've got plenty of time to drag this shit out so that the Gabby shot is not a fucking mid-credits tease, but in fact the end. It'll be cool. They did not do the scene this episode. It will be next week, I assume. Feels like they'll show the spine since they displayed Zeke's cheeks. Yeah, I think I think I have confidence that they'll show the decapitation and then the Eren spine meme. If you notice in the preview, they did have the shot of Zeke where he's like lying down in Titan form and like half his arm is gone and nearly his whole spine is gone. It's kind of shaded out to not show anything bloody, but it was like that in the manga. They seem to be doing pretty well with the visceral violence this season. But yeah. Nope. Okay, fair enough. They spliced that a little in the anime. That line from Porco was after Eren hit him. When Zeke pelted him later, I don't think we saw the aftermath. Oh, of like the head thing. The Yelena shot was definitely infinitely better in the pre-animated trailer. The lack of close-up to Yelena's physique makes the scene devoid of any pretentious grandeur. It was supposed to convey They framed it well. But due to the distance in the airships from her, it wasn't climactic as the original was. Generally, I think Anne is right there. I think as well as in the manga, it basically cuts from Zeke throwing rocks to the Yelena shot. Yeah, it's like at the very beginning of the chapter. It's like the title page of the chapter. It's like, ooh, we're in for some good shit this month. But yeah. Whilst in the anime, we get an extended shot of one of them crashing into each other. And you get the overhead shot of like Yelena, which I think is a little panel in the manga, but that gets more focus almost because you have to do the motion and it has to like slowly happen rather than just the one shot. Maybe I'm wrong on that front. We had a lot of fucking chat messages to get through. Yaman said something different in the fan scans you read years ago. What Armin stuff are we talking about? No, it's exactly the same here. The facial expression too is a little bit different, I think. Because I got the same vibe from the manga and the anime. Armin spelled it out more that Eren was going to full rumble. 12 viewers, Pog. That is true. We do have 12 viewers. I'm so excited for next week. How will they censor the decapitation? Place your bets. Long shot, sound effect. Shadow. That was always my guess, but now, I don't know, they might actually do it. You did see in the trailer, like, the long zoom-in shot. That's kind of an okay way to do it. We'll see. When it happens, I'm sure I'll let you know if I like it or not. It's indeed the halfway point, the rumbling. That is chapter 130 or 131 will be the season finale. Pog. We'll finally know. Steam. Maybe Steam. Or 132, I guess, yeah. Isn't 132 the one where Hanji dies? I don't know. The Hanji death at the beginning of the movie could be good, but it could also be bad. That is like the last thing that happens in the last episode of the series. I don't know. Do you want to have like, oh, the movie starting in dark fashion because Hanji's dead? Or do you want to have like the anime end and like giving respect to Hanji's character in that sense of like, well, that's the last thing that happened. Or is 132 not that? I feel like that might be 133 now that I'm thinking about it. I had to go through this for the fucking latest understanding video, so... They'll put a giant birdcage over Eren's decapitated head for symbolism. Kyle, I'm telling you that the headshot is halfway. The episode ends with Zeke and Eren headbutt in paths. Start the 5 stages of grief now, brother. Maybe. They could also show a shot of his decapitated head, but very obscured with very illuminated background. For the love of God, my sides will reach orbit. There's a movie. What? Yes, everybody's saying that we're getting a movie. 131 works really well as a season finale. The last part of the chapter is designed to make you wonder. Can't wait to go into a movie theater. Yeah, true. Fucking anime movie theater. I'm cringing already. I forgot Glasses Guy was at the top of the stairs. He was not alone here in the manga. I thought a bear was cute. But never forget, Glasses Guy saves the world. I had a little too much to drink. I have a drinking problem. I thought that was cute. I never thought about that. Like, is Shardis' fatal... Not Shardis. What the fuck is this prick's name? Pixis is his fatal flaw that he drinks, and it's cute that he ends up dying through drinking or whatever. This scene... I just know that when she puts the scarf back on, there's going to be a bunch of... she's regressed things. That might be easy bait for a video. Hey, they didn't do this shot, did they? I don't remember it, at least. Oh, them looking at the destruction is cute over here. I'd never noticed that before. I don't think that was in the anime either. But the cute Yelena shots. And then this is the overhead shot here. I, again, forgot about this entirely. I didn't know if that was an anime edition, but they did say that it blocked off the exits. Zeke is taken down their ships. The moment of history is near. Saving Eren. Reiner's foot in the air. I don't think we got that one. Carl, will you bring your mum along to the movie theater or go alone? That's the big questions. Honestly, my fucking normie friends would probably want to see a movie. I've, again, never seen a movie without my mother. So maybe that would be a first time. Or maybe I just won't see it. Fuck it. But yeah. That was a meme. That's what, who was saying it? Did Miller say that? Yeah. That's what Miller was referencing. Did I miss anything else in chat? Why does anyone think there'll be a movie? Because I think somebody said it that was reputable, and it seems like the slow pacing would lead to that. And anime movies be making money recently. But yeah. Anime movie crowd smells great, I'm sure. Judging by the pacing of the episode count, it seems we won't reach the manga's finale. Pixidus is just like me. I can't wait for Chainsaw Man, so true, oh god. But we don't have the episode count. This guy is still coping about glasses guy, I swear. Lika said 12, so sure everything is working on. Shot of them walking up the stairs, and then slow, and then showing a close-up of each character was pretty silly. I think the normies said that too. I think they were like, oh, the longest stair shot ever. I didn't notice it at all. Who even is glasses guy? The savior of the world. Alright. Yeah, looked fucking mental. The Titan fights looked great, but some of the characters climbing the stairs looked like slim out. Is this true? I didn't notice any of this at all. The shot of them all climbing the stairs was fucking horrible. Jesus Christ, who thought doing something like that would look good? I literally have no idea what chat is talking about. So, I know you can't really link the clip, huh? But I guess we can't really say anything about it then. Oh, this was in. The look was okay. This stuff again, it didn't feel. I feel like it's more tense in the manga. I like how Niall, like, it's a one shot of like Niall walking the corner and then he kind of like pushes Falco off. In the anime, it feels like a little bit more like, I don't know what, cynical is not the right way, like sarcastic and like, there's no place for a kid. I'm not actually helping this kid, or at least I want to present like that. But then he waves because he actually does care. Did Falco wave first? I don't think I remember that, but maybe he did. Apparently I don't remember this awful stairs shot either. The hug is cute. All this stuff is cute. I like the birdcage stuff. I thought it was cute. I like the 3 panels here. It's cute. Oh, this stuff is good. I like this. I still like this like point of like Colt believing in Zeke because he's, and it's kind of interesting. There's a lot of interesting stuff if you why can't I think of words? When you exacerbate it, when you expand it, when you zoom out, when you look in totality. I'm looking for a word that starts with EX that is a synonym to those things I just said. It's interesting that Colt, like, Zeke fails to be Xavier for Colt, but Colt kind of believes in Zeke and thinks that, like, they might have a similar relationship of, like, maybe Zeke will, like, stop his entire plan for me and my brother. I think that's a really cute, like, little miniature point. Obviously, it doesn't pay off, but I like the thought behind the character's actions here. There's obviously the Eren and Mikasa parallel here. Falco actually confesses, whereas Mikasa waited forever. In the scene in the anime, it's the Eren Gabby parallel is played up with the birdcage meme. It's not so much just the bird cages I like, it's like the open bird cages of Gabby has flown the coop. She now understands. She's outside of the limited perspective of the cage. I'd literally never thought about the cage mentally. I feel like I talked about this last time, or maybe we just talked about this in more recent streams, about how, I think it was in a more recent stream when I was talking about recontextualizing in my brain the fact that, like, Mikasa and Eren killed, like, literally cold-blooded, not murder because it's self-defense, and obviously the kidnappers deserve to die, but, like, they fucked up them kidnappers when they were, like, 11. And as a kid of, like, 13 watching Attack on Titan, or 12 watching Attack on Titan for the first time, it's just like you relate to the characters and you're like, oh, whatever, they killed him. But now as, like, an adult, I'm an official adult now, chat. Turned 18 last week. That's not true. Looking back on that, it's like so fucked up, and it's like, oh, they're 11 years old. That would have scarred them forever, and it's why they never had a childhood, and they grew up in this cruel world. And you can kind of think back on that, but it's hard to think back on that because your initial reaction was just not that. To recontextualize something that's like, just like a very, like, it's just ingrained in your brain as Attack on Titan stuff, and you really don't think about it. I likened this to some Pokemon stuff as well. I feel like the cage stuff with Eren is another thing like that in my brain where it's just like, yeah, Eren's in a cage, whatever walls them out. And I never really thought about it. That's, I think, what I'm trying to get at here. I never really thought about the backstory in more of a context of, like, that's kind of fucked up. I just went with it like, yeah, that's how Mikasa learned to like Eren or whatever, and that's why she lives with him. How interesting. Not actually thinking about how, like, fucked up this is. Because I remember at the trial they bring that up, and I remember being like, as a kid, I was like, haha, stupid fucking, they don't understand. But now in retrospect, it is kind of fucked up and shows to their, like, fucked up nature of Mikasa and Eren, who are kind of fucked up people, that they did this. And sort of Gabby and Falco being the less fucked up mirror of them. Obviously, they get to end up together. The scarf kind of parallel here with the armband ripping it off. It's all cute. And I was the point I was building up to was that the cage was another thing I'd never thought about. I'm like, oh yeah, obviously the cage, a massive metaphor, and the entire thing is that the because I've talked about the perspective thing a million times, but the cage fits the perspective metaphor of, like, you can be trapped in a cage of perspective as well as literally a cage of, like, you have big giant walls. And in fact, the perspective thing is a much bigger theme in Attack on Titan than literally you can't see the horizon. Though obviously that is a big thing come the end of the series when the last shot, or one of the last shots, is Mikasa looking out from the tree with nothing obscuring her vision or whatever. Cute stuff all around. I feel like there was another thematic linchpin that I wanted to touch on. This scene is very good, chat. I tweeted about this. I was like, oh no, this is going to be super cringe. I think even outside of the metaphorical use of the cages, it just does very well when there are dialogue scenes and it's kind of heartfelt, especially when you're building up to just not have a close-up of Gabby crying the whole time, because that can be cringe, and it's like, whatever, stop crying, you little fucking shit. To cut to the cages and have, like, the voice acting more carry it. Obviously, I'm an Evangelion bro, so I love long shots of just some random shit in the corner of the room while a character monologues. The Misato Kaji sex scene is like that. There's 50 million Evangelion scenes like that. So I like stuff like that. Just as, like, I don't know. It puts you in, like, this mood of just, like, because this happens. Actually, this is a really cool little thing that I've only just thought of now that I think is the reason I like it. Because when you are having, like, a hard talk with somebody or a heart-to-heart moment or something, you tend to not be able to look them in the eyes, right? I'm terrible with eye contact regardless of if it's a heart-to-heart moment. But sometimes, like, if you're talking to somebody, or it's a confession, or it's you admitting to something, like, you'll catch yourself and you'll be looking over into the corner of the room at something, like, random. I do that a lot even in, like, the car when I'm trying to explain something to stream, and I'll look at something. And if you look at something, like, if I don't look at the microphone or the screen, which is what I imagine you to be, chat, I might look at the fucking seatbelt buckle and it'll help me focus when you, like, zone out and look at something. And it sort of becomes preferential. Is that what I'm looking for? Like, you see it out of the corner of your eye and you're kind of looking at it, but you're kind of not looking at anything. So it lets you clear your brain so you can talk about it. I guess that is a visual representation of, like, Gary saying something heartfelt. It's on a picture of a cage. You notice the cage, but then you can focus more on the words. That's a cute little technique. Obviously, Attack on Titan didn't fucking invent this. This is in a million different things. But I think that might be the reasons, like, psychologically, why I think that works really well. Because if you think about that, like, the Kaji Misato scene is more so a confessional scene. Most monologues are characters confessing to something. But I think that's all cute. The Pieck fake out is really cute. I like it. I like the fact I feel like you could critique this for them being really dumb, but I really like how they think like somebody else did and they think somebody else did and they get caught off guard. I really like this thing, like them cheering. I feel like this is reminiscent or a parallel to something else in Attack on Titan where people think they've won, and they just get fucked on. But I feel like that's like every like twist in Attack on Titan. But there's one specific thing where they're all raising their swords or something. But I can't think of it right now. Probably check chat after my big fucking convoluted monologue. But I think we got there in the end. I see the who even is glasses guy comments. People complaining about this stare shot. Sit in theater, movie ends, everybody applauds. I've never been in a movie theater where anybody is clapped, ever. Not once. And I feel like if I was, I would leave immediately. Like, how weird and cringe. I don't like it at all. I don't know. You see the videos of like, because I think in American theaters, like you do clap at the end of movies or something. I don't know why. It's kind of weird. I feel like I've never been in a theater where anybody has ever done anything. I'm trying to think if I ever like saw a movie opening night or something. I don't think I ever have. I remember seeing Avengers 2 very early because I remember the only seats we could get were like, I was right at the front to the side and it was like a really bad like angle. And that's the only time I've ever seen that movie. Movie's okay. Didn't we watch the Geekvolution video on that? And he was very kind of positive on that, and that was a refreshing take. It's a complete side tangent. But I don't remember anybody clapping in that. Avengers 2 is something nobody talks about. I feel like it's an entirely forgotten movie. But now we're on some Avengers 2 tangent. But yeah, I've never been to a movie theater where anybody's clapped. And I think in America, you just clap and like cheer and shit, especially because you see videos of like opening night. America, they're standing up screaming and clapping when some dickhead shows up on screen or something. And it's really weird and really cringe to me. But yeah. But I'm also a wrestling fan, so. And that's literally the bread and butter. It's just contextual, I think, what you're used to. Wow, so Eren is like a slave to fate. That was epic. Free will doesn't exist, and the universe doesn't care about us. I fucking love science. Wobble of a dub-dub. A lot of repressed feelings there, I think, from Well Nevermind then. Marvel movies and their consequences have been a disaster for the human race. I've seen a lot of Marvel movies. Not one clap. Which Marvel movie is as nihilistic as what you just described? He wasn't talking about that. He was talking about people cheering, I think. Maybe my mum would like Attack on Titan. Maybe. Not for the nihilism aspect, for the low standards, epic music, one-liner. Don't offend Marvel. Miller will bite your neck off. That's Attack on Titan related joke. You get it, chat? Weren't they like 8 years old? Who was 8 years old? What are we talking about here? Because they're 10 when the wall first falls. It's 1 year before that. And I think they're 10, so they might have been 9. No, because they're 12 when the walls... No, they're 12 because there's 5 years between the walls falling and them graduating. Because there's 2 years and then they spend 3 years in cadet training. So they would be 9, I believe. But yeah, not even 11, 9. I mean, those tend to already existed, but Marvel did however. Yes. Also, people who really love Marvel movies are kind of people that I describe themselves as optimistic nihilists. I don't know about this. I think, well, Nevermindland's conflating two people he thinks are stupid. Two groups of people. There are no devils on this island. I think focusing on the bird cages removes a lot of the emotion from the scene. I feel like Miller likes the melodramatic shit because his favorite stuff is like the Kaya stuff. Well, I guess it's in like 5 chapters, right? Because it's after all the rumbling has started and shit like that. I preferred Gabby before. Do you wear glasses, Kyle? No, I do not wear glasses. I beat up people that wear glasses, alright? we're real tough guys around here. It's like, think about the themes instead of them showing the characters, letting you focus on them. I don't know how many people are going to think about themes at all, but thinking about themes is fine. Of course, he's a nerd. Flock and the Jaegers are consistently dumb. It's great. No one clapped at Spider-Man. I saw Spider-Man 2 weeks after the fact. It was actually pretty packed. But yeah, nobody clapped. I just can't conceive of clapping in a movie theater. Why would you do it? I think you clap at premieres because the cast will be there. I mean, for like the one big premiere, right? They're not going around to all the premieres, right? But yeah, if there's like, if like people are taking a bow or something at the beginning of stage or whatever and they made the movie, sure. But like if you're just clapping to a projector and like some cleaner dude that wants you to get the fuck out of there so he can clean the theater, but you have to wait 10 minutes extra than you usually would because of these fucking post-credit scenes, clapping's a little weird. But yeah, if it was just in a theater, people clapping, I'd be raging. There's that one shot. I feel like that video went on viral on Twitter, and I don't want to continue the dog pile because I think the retweet with like 100,000 likes was like, if this was my theater, I'd be punching or something. But it was the Spider-Man like day one thing where like people were standing up and like clapping and throwing their fists up in the air from when I assume the other Spider-Man showed up for the first time or something. I can't really remember anybody like crying at a sad moment in a movie. But again, I've never seen like an actual real movie in a theater. I've only ever seen like Marvel movies and Pixar movies and animations in a movie theater. None of my favorite movies I've ever seen in a theater. So I don't know, like I don't remember anybody like gasping when Aunt May got stabbed or whatever. Spoiler alert. That was a good scene. Remember that scene? This is derailed into a theater conversation. Our YouTube audience is fuming. Both times I saw Spider-Man had loud cheering and screaming in certain scenes. I don't know. Maybe these weirdos in Melbourne, they're built different. I'm farming trues in chat. Every one of you better have trued just now. Damn, that eye contact take was actually really insightful. Damn good. I remembered what a big brain you have, Fivehead. It's so weird. I feel like that's the first compliment I've ever gotten from chat. Chat, you're always mean to me. Be nice. To think that those Malayan soldiers single-handedly wiped out every single flight suit, I'm glad Isama supports Mali, very based in an attempted invasion. I assume the rest of them like ran away and hid, right? Not all of them. Flock's still alive. The theater clapping is an American thing. Even here in Canada, people don't unless it's little opening night. I feel like, let's bring out paint. I feel like there's like we're doing another scale, chat. I feel like this is the scale. Why does it always zoom in on this? This is a complete tangent. This is the type of content you get on stream, YouTube, and it's worth it. If we do a scale of like America, and we put like the big AUS over in the corner, there's like a scale of how close you can get. You got America, these like Western countries, I guess, or whatever the fuck. Imperialist scourge, we'll say. We got the U.S. I don't want to hear that you can type text or whatever in this fucking thing. And there's like a thing of like closest to Australian, closest to American. And you got like Canada's like here, because obviously they're north. We got the C, because I'm not going to write out Canada. Then you've got like the Brits. They're like in the middle, where it's like half and half. Britain like Australia kind of feels like half US type culture and half British culture. This kind of represents our World War I major allies, or really World War I really didn't have anything to do with us. We were just getting killed on Turkish beaches. And our big World War II allies, right? The Japanese, they were gonna fuck us up a little bit unless Big Daddy USA helped us out. And then we got like the big NZ over here. There's like a structure of like more American, less American. And it's a scale that goes this way. This is true, chat, right? This is just fact-based and scientifically researched. We got the Brits in the middle, and we got the rest of them. Who else could even be on here? I don't know. Are there any other countries? The Irish? I don't know anything about the fucking Irish. But that's the scale, and that's how it works. Oh, and I forgot the point. This is like the most likely you were to clap, and this was the least likely you were to clap. And Canada is like kind of American, but there's a lot of weird British sensibilities because they are still in the Commonwealth. It's a whole fucking thing. Coming back to Flock's name, isn't he just that because the Jaegers gathered around him and literally a flock like birds and birds equal freedom? I don't know. Yeah, that was more as I was thinking. I was like, birds, freedom, flock. He's one of the flock. He's just a follower, but then he gets made into a leadership position and it doesn't end well because he should have just been a flock. He's just a follower. He's a bitch boy. Kiyomi slam. But I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it. Also, Flock is the only survivor of his units because he runs away is funny. I don't think he ran away. He charged the fuck in, didn't he? I feel like, it's like, I don't know how edgy we want to get, but it's like when Bill Maher said, like, Bill Maher has been cancelled a million times. But when Bill Maher originally got cancelled in, like, 2001 because he said the 9/11 hijackers were brave because he was being edgy, like, 3 days after 9/11 happened. And then he got cancelled off of things and had to go to HBO. I feel like, give Flock his credit. Him charging in was kind of brave, right? He wasn't a very good gentleman, but I feel like he didn't run away there. Like, he woke up after the fact and Zeke was already out. I think we literally see him woken up after Levi has, like, engaged Zeke. There's not really much more for him to do. I don't think there's anything that implies he ran away during the fight. I just thought he swung around awkwardly trying to get Piek down. We're talking about this fight. But, yeah, when do we see Flock after this? I think, is he shown in the shot? Because there's like a shot when Gabby shoots Eren where we get reaction shots from everybody. And I know Mikasa and Armin are up there fighting Piek. Is Flock with them? I don't remember. We could look that up in a little bit. But yeah, I was talking about the wrong fucking thing, and I brought up Bill Maher for no reason, I think. Where the fuck was I up to in chat? This is taking a while. Chat's being talkative tonight, alright? And I like it. Usually our chat's dead. But here we are. Americans are weird. Laughing in a movie theater is cringe. People definitely laugh in movie theaters. My mother is the worst at this. Laughing when she shouldn't. I brought up the example of her laughing when the cat shows up at the end of Hunger Games 1,000,000 times. Pretty awkward in the theater when she started laughing. And Katniss is having like a fucking mental breakdown. But that's everything. You know, Kyle yells at his screen while watching sport and wrestling and is completely complaining about people clapping movies. Completely different things. First of all, sport. Absolutely. Let's go. The only thing that matters in this fucking world is my sports ball team. Wrestling, it takes a special something to get a reaction out of me in wrestling, I think. I sit and watch wrestling cross-legged, glasses on, even though I don't wear glasses, chat. With a monocle on, slowly observing with a fine-tooth comb because I'm an expert in the field. Movies is cringe. I don't know, man, feels weird. Am I the only one who didn't watch the Spider-Man movie? You might be the only one in the world. I mean, many people clapping during Infinity War and Endgame, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I feel like I would have seen both of those fairly, like, early on, but I don't remember any clapping or anything. Because sometimes your takes are okay. Don't feed his ego. I found out recently Kyle is copying Destiny by pulling out paint on stream. That might have been where I got it from, but he draws much better than me. Pretty sure that scale should be between the US and UK. I was thinking about that. It probably should have been. Australia is kind of a mix of both. And I feel like all the other countries are a mix of both. But I was trying to get at the most likely and least likely to clap in theaters, and I was trying to connect the 2 points. Turns out it wasn't too scientific of a measuring tool. But next time we'll try harder. That's one weirdly sensed explanation. New Zealand is further away from America than Australia. That's probably definitely true. They're literally trying to ban tobacco, alright? They don't love freedom at all over there in the NZ. I feel like New Zealand and Australia should be swapped, considering that Australia has a big homophobia problem. I'm almost certain New Zealand has a pretty massive homophobia problem too. Australia is, like, ridiculously conservative in a lot of ways. Like, if you look at... People make this meme about American politics and they say, like, the Democrats are a center-right party or whatever. I don't really know. I don't know anything about politics, really. But, like, I'm pretty sure if you look at a political compass test, the Labour Party in Australia is a center-right party. It's kind of funny. And then the Greens are all the way to the left, and they're kind of crazy, and nobody likes them. But yeah, Australia is oddly conservative in nearly all manners. Look up Australia's stance on immigration. If you thought their migrant camps on the US border were bad, let me tell you about Christmas Island, everybody, which is also a US thing. I feel like homophobia is kind of a global thing. I don't know about that one. More people should do that. Paint graphs are lit. They show Flock again in the same position, being the only survivor after the rumbling starts. Maybe killed his own men. Let's just give him more shit. Let's fuck on Flock some more. It's in the next chapter when Flock comes up from behind. Pieck notices every single one of his comrades is dead, while McGarth's soldiers are still alive. Bring your mum to the Attack on Titan movie so she can laugh when Ramsay gets his skull crushed. Nah, I'll just laugh. It'll be a good time. A character is a bad person. Suddenly he's ugly, fat, a coward, an incel, and beats women and has a small penis. Small dick. Yes, true. I read the Spider-Man plot on Wikipedia. Fuck wasting a few hours of my precious time. I don't know. It was the first time I'd gone to a theater in 3 years. It was a fun time, I guess. I actually haven't seen the Spider-Man movie after Homecoming. I demand Coslow to join the Alliance and shit talk the Paradis cast. I forget who Coslow is. Is that like Ramsay's friend? Back to the chapter. Zeke got shot. It was pretty cool. I feel like they should have just done a full long shot of him falling. Or they should have done the Bertolt shot from the end of 2.7, season 2, episode 7, where he's like falling all the way down. And it should have been a big impact. I don't know. I feel like they could have done that a little bit more dramatically. I did like the ending shot on Falco running. I thought that was cute. Oh, it's one of Miller's favorite fake chapter previews. Was there anything from 119? God, it's 119 next week, chat. There's going to be some sour fucking grapes. If this one doesn't end up well. This was in this week's chapter. This wasn't. Are we going to look at what we can anticipate next week? All this stuff. I did see this shot in the... Why is this not inward? I feel like I've thought about this a million times. I feel like we might have even talked about this on stream. So the blasts come in here, but why is his elbow like kind of up a little bit and it looks like there's 2 shots? But here there's only 1. How come, chat? How come? I want to see Porco, fucked up head, no eye. We get the scream. I literally want them to go goofy as fuck. I literally want them to be playing a weird tune as he dances. I want it. They're not going to do it because they're cowards and they want everything to be serious because this is Attack on Titan, a very serious manga. But I want the goofiest music in the world. Instead, they'll do dun 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 dun. They'll play the female Titan theme as he's doing the dance to make him look menacing. Get him, Falco. This could be a cool fucking shot. Are these... no, the Game of Thrones Titans are from something else. The Saul Goodman Titan is coming up soon, right? Fucking... I want to see this detailed shots remains of cult. I mean. Give it to me. Give me the violence. Second shot. Fuck, it's cool. Our boy McGarth does not give up. Is it Mikasa? No, it's Armin that fucks her up. And then we got Mikasa cutting the soldiers up. Did I miss the Flock shot? Or is that later? Chat was telling me about the Flock shot. Porco gets eaten up. Aaron hardening fake out is cute. Oh my god, we're going flat. Is it really that time? This shot could be so cool. Everything, every last thing. They're helping Aaron out. Should they be helping Aaron out? Big conflict. Reaching out. It could be so good, chat. Is it going to be so good? Reaction shot, reaction shot, reaction shot, reaction shot. I don't see Flock anywhere. Maybe it's after all this stuff. Ends on big... You don't hear the screen. Just full screen, big Zeke face. And he just makes the big... I just died face. It'll be cute as fuck. Isn't it so cool that he catches him in the fucking head? God, what a thumbnail that was for that one video I made. Anyway, for the YouTube audience, you've endured many tangents, you talked many bullshit. We're getting the going flat notice. I'll read the rest of chat off stream. Not off stream, off YouTube video. I opened OBS like I had to click stop recording, which is not what we're going to do. But I will probably be back next week. Hopefully there will be maybe 2 scripted videos out on the main channel. But I just split one video into 2 parts, and it's not the Attack on Titan video. That'll come later. But hopefully you'll see some scripted videos in the meantime. Get excited. We should be doing things. Another video on the second channel. Hopefully it revitalizes it. Anyway, stick around next week, same time, same place. Come be in chat live if you want to be. Follow the Twitter. I always say when I'm going live and how long it'll be and all that stuff. If you really want to be here live, which I know you do, YouTube audience, you can do it. All you got to do is follow the Twitter. We just passed, I actually noticed, 500 followers on Twitch. Are we clapping, chat? Do I have a clapping emote? No, I don't. So that's nice. But anyway, with all that being said, come over to Twitch next week. Don't be a loser in the YouTube audience. Or do. Honestly, probably will make me more money in the long run if this second channel ever gets monetized. Maybe everybody should be in the YouTube audience. We don't know. But with that being said, we'll leave you for another week. Support links in the description below.